All right, we good? Nice. What is going on, guys? Welcome back to another video. And before I get into the specifics of this video, I do want to talk about something. At least it's a response that was given back to me through the comment section from Jonathan Bretta. So if you guys don't remember, there was a match of Jonathan Bretta versus Pradines in East versus West 14 that had happened last weekend. I had made a video on this because Pradines actually lifted his elbow purposefully off the pad, which ended up making him win the, well, it didn't end up making him win the match, but he ended up winning it 3-2. But anyway, so I did a full video on this, and then Jonathan Bretta actually responded, and he gave his reaction and his understanding of everything that happened. So I figured, like, you know what? I'm going to quickly read what he actually says, and if you guys want to see it, go check in the comments in that video, and then give my quick take. But let's just get to it. So, Jonathan Bretta. Hey Keanu, I appreciate your opinion on the match. Would like to give you some clarity on the match and my opinion on the intentional elbow foul as well. First off, round 3, I agreed to go to hook. He got great position on me. I felt I could not pull him out of position. I myself intentionally elbow fouled because I knew I was in a bad spot. I believe he intentionally elbow fouled the first match. I steered away from my game plan because I got a little confident. I paid for it by doing so. Once I went back to top roll, I went too low and didn't make the proper adjustments. He turned me on my bicep and I burnt myself out. Pec and shoulder was blown to bits. This is why I could not transition for the rest of the match after taking his hand. I learned a valuable lesson. Always stick to the plan if it's according to plan. Intentional elbow fouls. I understand your frustration with this, but it's just as much of an advantage to you as it is to your opponent. So just get stronger. This is an endurance sport as much as it's a strength sport. Mentally, you have to be prepared as well. Use the rules to your advantage. Study your refs as much as your opponents. That, to me, is what makes arm wrestling great. Strategy is just as important as strength. Get stronger and elbow fouls won't matter. Plain and simple. Never underestimate your opponent. I suspect Americ would not be stronger in me and Hook. I clearly suspected wrong. You cannot take anyone on the elite level lightly. He was a very worthy and deserved the victory. Happy to call him a friend as well. Very interesting. I'm not going to go down the rabbit hole of my thoughts. I think you guys know this by now. I just made a video just kind of going down a rabbit hole saying how much I really hate the intentional elbow fouls. One thing that did, you know, I still stand on my opinion on this. Like I said, I'm not going to talk too much about it. But he does have a good point. It's just as much of an advantage to you as it is to your opponent. And if you're so worried that the match is going to end, just get stronger. I can't disagree with that. I really can't. If you guys really want more of like an in-depth response to this, I could do that in a future video. But I did want to mention that he did respond. He gave his took on the match. And it definitely changed my perception a little bit. Now, do I completely agree with them? Not so. But anyways, so let's get on with the video. Today is going to be an interesting topic, and a couple months ago I did some research on just videos I could do in general, just topics, things that maybe the public is asking that they just don't really know, they don't have an answer for. And one of the questions I came up with, or that I had seen online, was beginner training within a beginner, like what to do, why, how does it work, how can you actually be good? Because let's just say you are unfortunate enough to not be in a good position where someone around is not able to train with you and you want to learn the sport. Well, what do you do? So I'm just going to give my raw thoughts. I'm going to talk about it, what I would do. And there's absolutely no research behind this. I'm just going to speak to it as if someone just asked me on the spot. Is it the way to go about it? I have no idea, but we're about to get into it here. Gotta get my protein shake in. Okay, so a beginner training with a beginner. Let's just say, hypothetical scenario, you are a dude or a girl in a town, small town, and there's nobody. You have one friend, but your friend wants to learn to arm wrestle. You want to learn to arm wrestle, but you guys have absolutely no idea where to start. Okay, first of all, if you have access to internet, which I would have to assume you do, but let's just pretend like you have access to internet. You do all your research, you're like, I'm not sure what to do. Look up Yeah, I would first of all just look up videos on how to arm wrestle to start. I mean, obviously you need to have some type of an indication of, what to do. This isn't a how-to video, but if you are a beginner arm wrestling with another beginner, the first thing I could say is, it's not really a how-to. Line up with your opponent, so just make sure you both are square to your person. Your elbow, so let's say this is your body, parallel to each other. Your elbow comes in just a little bit, in towards the middle of the chest, seat your elbow down. So you should be coming on a slant, but I want you to be on a slant where your hand comes up. Everything is square, as you can see from this angle. Elbow's here, goes to the middle, sits down. Same thing here, comes down, sits down. I usually like to take my palm, shove it under the elbow of the other person, so it should look like this. So you should both be like 1, 2, 3, come down, hand scoops under, but to your other opponent's, your opponent's elbow. When you are, this is arm wrestling, this is not lifting or anything, I'm gonna get to that in a sec. If you are arm wrestling, always just follow your shoulder at all times. Extremely, extremely important. Don't ever go away. Think of this, if you don't follow your shoulder, you're gonna break your arm. It's that important. So your hand always follows your shoulder, just do not go against it. Don't be going away. Stay tight here and try to go to the back, but also to the side. Let's just say that you want to train, you want to get better, but you don't have a club, and you have maybe stuff around your house. Well, like I like to do, you see this big rice bag right here, which I'm about to get into. Use it like as an arm wrestling exercise. If you have to do bicep curls, do bicep curls. I mean, it's straightforward. I don't need to give an explanation on that. But let's just say you have access to a cable system. Let's just say you are sophisticated enough where you go to a gym, but no one really arm wrestles. Use a cable system where, picture it like in a match. You have your cable, you grab your cable, but instead of you doing bicep curls where you're coming directly down in this movement, grab the cable, like if it's on an angle, let's just say it's off to your low right side. Grab the cable, and I want you to do bicep curls. Watch me. Elbow comes up as if you're in a match, tucked in a little bit, and I want you to kind of go to the side. Just to the side. You don't have to go completely internal rotation style, no. Just do as if you're doing a curl, cup your forearm in, come out, and then like drag it up to your shoulder almost, but do everything slowly and in isolation. So like this, very straightforward. If I'm here, I grab my cable, I'm on the angle, coming down. You should be at about 110 to 120 degrees. So let's just say you're up here, you get your handle, it's being pulled away from you, and you're dragging it up to your other shoulder. Drag, 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 drag. Because in an arm wrestling match, let's say you get into 1, 2, 3, boom, you want to be able to drag your opponent to the side. I know it's very difficult if you want to get into the sport and the person you're with, or you don't even, let's just say you were the loneliest person on the planet and you don't have a friend. Saying that respectfully, it's okay to not have friends. I don't have friends. But let's just say you don't have any friends and you just want to get into the sport. Practice your grip strength. That's always going to be a good starter. People who come into the sport with very good grip, it's always a win there. Practice your slanted bicep curls. So like I said, nothing crazy internal rotation. We're looking for that nice like squeeze in, just slightly to the side and to the shoulder. And you'll have an idea if you're doing the exercise correctly, because once you're done the exercise, the inner side of your arm is going to be a little blown up and you're going to feel a little bit of weird pressure there. Forearm curls, if you can do those, reversed bicep curls. But let's just say that you are fortunate enough, you have a friend, you have an arm wrestling table, you've never arm wrestled before, you just really, really want to get into it. Obviously, look up videos like this or specific videos on YouTube, which I do have. But just practice on a table. I think that's going to be the best place to go if you have like an actual table with someone to pull with. And you can even use a cable system. I mean, it doesn't take too much. You just got to really make sure you're doing it properly, or you could actually hurt yourself. Surprise, surprise. Welcome to arm wrestling. But the biggest tips I can say, if you're going to be arm wrestling with someone and you're both beginners, and you have absolutely zero experience and you want to just link up on a table, make sure everything is tight. Devin Laird has made a bunch of videos on this. I mean, hundreds of arm wrestlers, if not thousands of arm wrestlers, have made videos on the whole how-to thing, and I have as well. But let's just say you haven't seen them and you're seeing this video. Make sure everything is tight, your shoulder is your shoulder is engaged, everything is locked in, and it's always a pulling movement. Arm wrestling is not a pushing game. It's not a side pressure game where everything's being pushed left to right. Everything is gripped, squeeze, and drag. And yes, this is obviously a little bit more of a beginner video. This isn't going to be seen, this isn't for the people who have been doing this for quite a long time or who have been doing it for maybe like say 6 months. But yes, you can actually go to the side. You can legitimately go all the way to the side and you're allowed to bring your body sideways. So yeah, just make sure your grip is very good. Make sure that if you're going to be doing any arm wrestling on a table, everything is connected. Go slow. There's no rush. You don't need to start pinning the person you're going up against. In fact, when us as professionals go into arm wrestling matches, arm wrestling practices, yeah, obviously we want to pin. We want that side of the practice. But for the most part, we're just putting each other in weaker positions that we know we can work on. So when it does happen in a match, it goes a long way. Table time, what else on table? Grip, bicep. Yeah, just make sure everything's tight, man. Don't be going too wild, too fast. Just make sure everything's nice and tight. Your grip is strong, good squeeze. Use a lot of forearm cupping too. If you have the chance to really bring in that forearm, bring it in, and like I said, drag to the side. And if you have access to a gym, just go heavy if you're able to on preacher curls, barbell, dumbbell. What else? You've probably seen a lot of the lifts like the Devin Laird pronation lift, the riser lift. Look up arm wrestling specifics, which I have videos on. But yeah, look up arm wrestling specifics. See what you can learn from there because you can find anything around the house. You can grab, like, literally, look what I'm using. A rice bag. Why am I doing this? For blood flow, to get flow to the forearms, to get a little bit of recovery, to increase my grip strength, to get better finger strength, to get a thicker hand for the muscles here. So there's a lot that goes into it, but use tools you have around the house, man. I swear to God, it goes a long way. It might not seem like it at first. You might seem like you don't have the newest and the best tool or maybe resources around you, but give it a shot. It's the long game. You're not doing this to win in a day from now or a week from now. At least I would hope. I mean, we all want to win, but that's not the right way to go about it. So yeah, what would I do? Try to find someone who's interested. If you already do, even better. If you already have a table, even better. Get on a table, take things slow. Think about pulling. Do never think about putting pressure side to side or pressing. If you ever feel like you start to push, don't do it. As you become more experienced in the arm wrestling game, then go right ahead and do it. But at the beginning especially, it is so easy to break an arm. I have seen it. I have been 1 foot away from it. In fact, I was watching Devin pull a guy by the name of Tiny. He's not tiny. Years ago, and Devin's like 4 feet in front of, like literally right in front of me, and I watched him tear a guy's bicep because of just positioning. Now, that's not the best example because if there's anyone seeing this video who recalls this, it wasn't because of poor positioning. It was because the guy's just very strong and he's experienced and he didn't want that pin. So that's kind of, I guess, my take. If you're able to get in the gym and if you don't have access to a gym and you have, let's say, the outdoors or stuff around your house, do some chin-ups. Do everything in like a tight motion. So let's say you're doing pull-ups. Don't do long extended pull-ups. Do it like 3/4 or half and always focus on that squeeze once you hit the top of the rep. So yeah, arm wrestling is just a pulling game, dude. Arm wrestling is just a pulling game. Get good grip, get good at anything that's pulling movement, anything that requires like pinching weights, heavy curls. And I think for the most part, I mean, this is a very non-detailed video, This is just as if someone would ask me right now, hey buddy, I've never been into the sport. I have a friend I want to train with. We don't have any idea what we're doing. What do we do? This is what I would say. At least I think. But yeah, I think that's going to end it there. I don't really have much more to say. I feel like I'm going to beat a dead horse with this. Yeah, I think I'm going to beat a dead horse with that. Yeah, let's just end it there. So, yeah, I think that's it. My forearms are getting a sick pump right now, especially my hand. Actually, I can give you guys a quick update. So as you know, from ad revenue on YouTube, I have been putting the money away, and when I do hit a certain amount, I'm gonna purchase a brand new camera, a new lens. And for those who know cameras, you're probably already asking, well, Keanu, why don't you just buy a lens? You're an idiot if you're just gonna buy a new full camera. It makes no sense. You're kind of right, but I'm actually gonna be switching to a completely new brand. And I wanna have an extremely high-end professional camera, because when I'm making better and better and better videos, I actually wanna be able to show you guys just better content. But anyway, so I have the money put away, and I'll give you an update of how much money is in the account. So originally from YouTube, I have made $275. I know, it is a lot of money. I'm being very sarcastic. It's not much at all. Most people will make more than that in just a video. But this is what I made. So far we are at, it's invested, but so far we are currently, is it gonna show? Is it gonna show? Come on, put it on. $289. Fluctuates. It was at a high of like 325 or something last week. So it's invested. I'm just letting it sit in there. And every time I get a YouTube paycheck, I'm gonna throw it in. Right now, I don't really have any money coming in until next month. It's aiming to be next month, which will be roughly about $100. So I'll update you when I deposit more money into the account. Yeah, I figured I would give you guys a little bit of an update. And I think I'm gonna drop the video there. I gotta get going to work. And then I have a flight today at 4 p.m. So work, flight, work. Yeah. If you guys like this, if you guys like this type of content, make sure to like it. Consider subscribing. It helps more than you guys think. And if you want to support me for free, I'm not asking for money. I'm asking for free help. Like the video and just subscribe. If you don't like my channel, throw me on mute, but just subscribe, please. And I'll catch you guys in the next one. Till then, peace.